This is the Mannin Line on location.
Tastamai, good afternoon. Welcome to Mannin Line today. We're live in the ancient capital of Man. We're live in Castletown in Ballyacashel at King William's College. We're talking to students about, well, really whatever's on their mind. So in the next hour, open your ears, open your mind. We'll find out lots of things, including who is the best swimmer, the best Olympic swimmer in Romania, who won the debate the other night at St. Ninian's, and is VAR going to stay? Really? Teodora's here, and you're from Romania, is that right?
Yes, I'm from Romania.
Okay, well, it is, I'm sure, it's 10 weeks tomorrow. The Olympic Games start in Paris, Friday the 26th of July. And you were telling me, who's the superstar? Does he still swim for Romania?
Yes, he does swim for Romania. He's one of the favorites in the 100 meters freestyle.
What's his name?
David Popovic. He was the person who broke the 100 meter freestyle record back in 2022 at the age of 17 years old. And he kind of created a cultural revolution in Romania. And the impact he had was really tremendous. A lot of people started swimming and taking sport more seriously because of him. So we're really rooting for him.
He's a Romanian hero.
Yes. Kind of like this, a big inspiration for Romanian youth.
Okay. Do you swim yourself?
Yes, I do swim. And I was actually encouraged by that trend to start swimming again back in 2022.
Well, we'll watch the Olympics. And with you is Kayla as well. Kayla, there was a debate at St. Ninian's. Was it yesterday or was it?
Yes, please. King William's College versus Ramsey Grammar School. We debated on the bishop's right to vote in the Isle of Man Parliament.
Okay.
While Ramsey Grammar School proposed the motion, we opposed the motion. Teodora and I, along with another student, was on the team, which we won.
You won?
We won that debate, yeah.
You won, okay. And so basically your team said the bishop shouldn't have the vote in Tynwald.
Yes, we argued that while we are not taking away his right for a seat in Parliament and to assist with the debating of bills, his right to vote brings too much of an impartial vote in Parliament when it's supposed to be more about the public issues. We saw this with the abortion bill in 2016. We saw this with the homosexuality and lawful same-sex marriages in 1994, and now with the assisted dying bill that was introduced in 2023 and still being debated up to 2 days ago. We are seeing this again. So the bishop having a right to vote in Parliament brings such religious and biblical views into, which is a bias that should not be allowed in Parliament, given that he's on the Legislative Council, which is superior to not only the House of Lords, but also the House of Keys itself.
Okay. A lot of people would say that we're a Christian country. We're a Church of England country.
This was pointed out yesterday as well, and I will like it to be noted that the census, at least 13,000 people decided not to put a religion on the census, and there are at least 32,000 people who differ from the Christian religion. So while it may be argued that a majority of the Isle of Man is Christian, the bishop only represents one denomination of the Christian faith, which is out of respect to the Catholic or Anglican. There are many other denominations like the Pentecostal. These people, while you don't know what part of the Christian faith it represents, so if you're arguing that the bishop represents the Christian faith, then what about all the other denominations, not only the Christian faith, but also outside of the Christian faith?
Was there anybody else on the team there, or just you two?
No, the other student is a lower fifth boy, really amazing debater. His name is Brody Miller, and we commend him because he got Best Speaker as well yesterday.
So how did you win? Who took the vote? Was there
there was an adjudicator. Do you remember his name? I cannot remember his name.
But you won anyway.
Apologies. But yes, we won with a considerable gap. So we're very proud of ourselves.
Max is here as well. Max, you play sport?
Yeah.
What do you play?
I play Peel for Valkyries. Hockey for Valkyries and Peel. I occasionally play rugby for Ramsey. And I do a little bit of school football. Okay.
What stage are you at with the IB at the moment? When are the big exams?
We've got big exams next June. They finished them today, or some people finished them today, had their last economics exam.
So your last year starts in September, is that right?
Yes.
So what are you planning for? Are you heading to university?
Yeah, hopefully. Looking at history I think history.
With a view to doing what?
Not too sure yet.
Getting a degree?
Yeah.
Any particular university?
Well, both of my brothers went to Newcastle, so they've been telling me to go there. Apparently it's really good.
Emily, are you heading to university?
Yes, hopefully.
To read what?
That I have not decided yet. I've got quite a few options. I like my languages. I like, maybe a lawyer, but I don't think I want to do that at uni. But at the moment, I'm just thinking about where I want to go.
And you play sport?
Yes,
What do you do?
I do netball. I play a lot of netball. I play hockey, and I do sailing.
Okay, do you play for teams on the island?
Yes.
Who do you play for?
I play for Simcox for netball and the island. I play Castletown hockey and Isle of Man hockey, and I do sailing at Portsmouth Mary Yacht Club.
A big tournament, netball tournament at the moment,
yes,
isn't it? Eight nations.
Yes,
international
it's really
tournament.
exciting.
Well, we lost this morning. The Isle of Man team lost this morning.
Yeah, hopefully we'll have more luck with the UAE this afternoon.
What position do you play in netball?
I shoot, so goal attack.
You sit there waiting as a goal hanger.
Yeah.
Okay. Milica is here as well. From Serbia, is that right?
From Serbia, yes.
Okay. How long have you been on the Isle of Man?
Well, I've came in September 2023.
Last year? September?
Last September.
And what brought you to the Isle of Man? Why King William's College?
I've came through the HMC organization. I did not know about Isle of Man before it, but I'm very excited that I'm here now.
Okay. What do your family think of the Isle of Man? Have they been to see it, or?
No, unfortunately not yet. But they think it's very lovely. It's the nature and the cleanliness of the air is lovely, and they're very happy that I'm in this environment.
Do you miss Serbian food?
Yes. And no, depends if on the day and on the week. I do miss it. I do miss Serbia, and not just for food, but for the people as well.
What are Serbian people like?
I would say that they're much more homely and welcoming and very comfortable and relaxed. So I think that's maybe a little bit different. And a lot more assertive and direct.
Yeah. Well, sure as anything, most people outside the Balkans don't understand the Balkans and don't understand the different cultures within it.
Yeah, I would agree, and I think Teodora would agree with me as well. We are a very special little community.
Yeah. All right, it's good to talk to you. And James is on with us as well. And James, do you play sport?
Yeah, I play rugby mostly.
For
school and loosely for Vagabonds when I need players.
Are you in the first team?
I am in the first team. I play number 8.
Okay, and how are Vagas doing at the moment?
Well, there's only really Ramsey who are the other competitive team, so you mostly have to play travelling teams from overseas or travel over to them and play, which is obviously costly, which is why it doesn't happen very frequently. And
do you support anybody in the Premier League?
For football or for rugby?
Football.
For football, I follow Everton loosely because his dad was, but much more into my rugby than anything else.
What do you think? Do you follow international teams in rugby?
Yes, I do.
And who do you follow?
England. Well, I watch all competitions, but I support England.
Yeah, and what do you think of the standard of international rugby at the moment?
I think it's improved very much over the past few years, and I like the way that the sport's going towards, obviously, comparing it to football where there's a lot of money in that sport. Rugby lacks quite a lot, especially in the Gallagher Cup, which is their equivalent of the Premier League, where you don't have as many, there's just not as much money, the players aren't very well paid, a lot of them still work jobs whilst also playing, which obviously negatively affects their performance. So I think that if there was more money in rugby, it'll be a lot more. People want to watch it more, and people want to play it more, which is why it's lacking, especially in Britain.
Are you heading to university? You're in your last year starts in September, is that
that's right?
Yeah, okay.
I'd want to go to uni.
Have you planned it yet?
I think we take things as it comes. Each step, every day is a new day. You take things as they come.
Yeah.
Potentially going to Loughborough to study sport and history as a dual degree, and then going on to do a 1-year teaching conversion degree, and then go off and teach in a high school somewhere.
Do you see a future in sport for yourself?
Not competitive, not to play, potentially in coaching or in something down that sort of route, nutrition, something like that. I think the island's very good for producing very high performing sportsmen and sportswomen.
Yeah.
But for me, no, I'm not quite good enough, unfortunately.
Aidan, are you a sportsman at all?
In some ways, yeah. My main sport's football, but I played a bit of badminton as well when I was younger. Yeah.
Are you and you're heading to university, is that right?
Yeah, I'm going to try and go to university. Mainly looking at either the UK or Germany. There's a few complications with the UK because I'm South African. I'd have to pay the foreigner's fee, which some universities can get up to double the amounts for paying.
Yeah.
Whereas if I were to study in Germany, certain universities, if you're affluent enough in the language, they actually have your education for free and have other benefits. So those are the main universities.
Would you like to go to Germany?
I would like to study in Germany, yes. I've visited there a few times. I think the culture's amazing and the weather's great, the people are nice.
What would be your subject?
I was thinking to major in something with music, either composing or scoring for films or media, and maybe a minor in philosophy or geography.
Okay. Elliott's with us as well, and you are a Spurs fan, is that right?
I am, yes.
Yes. How long have you been a Spurs fan?
Probably since birth. It's a family team. We all support it.
Is it?
Everyone all the way to my
ups and downs.
Sadly, yes.
And what do you think of this manager that Spurs have?
He's been successful. I think there are many problems that are not dictated by him. Probably one mostly VAR. Yeah. That's a very big problem in football at the moment.
Well, they're having a vote, aren't they? The Premier League are having a vote as to whether VAR should stay or go. What do you think?
I think it should stay, but they should make some alterations to it. Similarly, like in cricket, they have 3 chances to review. I think they should have that for each team, and they should not abuse it as much. Whereas, if you have 1 millimetre offside, that's offside. That's too extreme, I think, with that.
So you have 3 goes at it, basically.
Yeah, for the cricket, in the Cricket World Cup, each team gets 3 reviews. If you get one wrong or it not goes your way, you lose that review. Yeah. If you get it correct, you keep the review.
Okay. It's a big money maker as well, and it's extended games. Lots of people like it. So why do you think they brought VAR in the first place?
I think the main idea was to remove human error. But there is just so much human error with everything that it is near impossible to remove. Same with VAR, it's reviewed through a human, so it is unable to be removed.
You're a cricketer, aren't you?
I am,
What do you do, bat or bowl or field?
I'm a leg spin bowler.
A leg spinner?
Yes.
Okay, right or left hand?
Right.
Okay, and who do you play for?
I play for Castletown Cricket Club. I previously played for the Isle of Man as well.
Yeah. And what do you think of the way? Did you see that the fact India are playing Pakistan in New York? There's going to be a big game in New York.
Yeah, I have seen the recent rise in cricket in the USA. I think it's very good. I think cricket has rose quite globally as well. Yeah. There's lots of schemes going on with the recent build-up of the Lords with the new 60 million influx of money for them. They are building new pitches around London as well to increase cricket for younger ages or anybody to play.
Did you have much coaching?
I had quite a lot of coaching, yes. Lots of coaching when I was quite young. I play with my original coach now in the first team. Yeah.
And for people who don't get cricket, you obviously love cricket.
Yes.
Why?
I've just been brought up with it. I've got pictures at home.
Why is everyone else laughing?
Well, yeah, many people think it's quite a boring sport, but I do. It's something I've been brought up with as a child all the way from birth. So that's why I like it so much.
Do you like the short form or do you like 5-day tests?
I do prefer long form because it's more relaxed. in the shorter form, so much can go wrong in just such a short space of time. With the long form, you're able to control the game a little bit more.
And who's your favourite player?
Mine probably would be Liam Livingston. He's leg spin bowler occasionally, but he's also a very strong batsman.
And James, you play cricket?
Very rarely.
Yeah.
I played for school. Well, it was compulsory to play through year 7 through to year 11.
Okay.
But no, I didn't catch the bug like Elliott
Let's
did.
have a word with Teodora for the Romanian view of cricket. Have you ever watched a cricket match, Teodora?
I never heard of cricket before coming to the UK.
Have you seen a match out here at King William's College at all?
Yes, I've witnessed it, and I don't really know how it works. I don't really get it.
Well, the main thing is that as a spectator, you can go to sleep and not miss anything.
Oh, yes. That's really interesting, to be honest.
In the sunshine, yes. You try and get to understand cricket as well. It may take 10 years, but you'll be fine. From the Caribbean.
Yes, that is probably why I'm a bit biased against it, because West Indies has not been playing well for a number of years, since probably Brian Lara. So I don't follow cricket much anymore. Well, not at all, honestly. You used to hear about it.
I was going to say, could you name any members of the West Indian Test team?
The current one?
Yeah.
Absolutely not. I am telling you, the honest truth is, the only reason I know about Brian Lara is because we learned about him in school as part of Caribbean history and social studies. Cricket is boring. I'm sorry, Elliott, you're probably really good at it and you probably enjoy it, but it is like, I don't get it.
Cricket used to be a religion in the West Indies, in the islands.
It's probably, it probably still is. But as I'm telling you, I'm not a sporty person in general. Football, I don't get, but I go probably watch a game because it's fun. Cricket, oh my God, it is so mundane. It is crazy how just limited and just simply boring.
Put this in context for us. It was St. Vincent and the Grenadines. Whereabouts are they in the Caribbean?
Okay, so St. Vincent and the Grenadines is just about, Barbados is west of it, so you probably may know Barbados more. We're all very close together. So St. Vincent and Grenadines, the state is in the Lesser Antilles, rather than the Greater
Barbados
Antilles.
is close to South America, isn't it?
Yes, we technically considered part of South America, but I prefer to see Caribbean as its own set of islands, because the South America mostly consists of the Latin American community, while the Caribbean is a melting pot of sorts of really wide variety, consisting of not only the Asian, Afro and Asian, who make up the Caribbean, because we have Trinidad consists of a lot of Indians. We have the African religions who come in a lot, and there's the migration of the early settlers with the Chinese and the other Asians. So I prefer not to say it was South American, but we're very close to South America.
Is there much social media?
Very much so. It was very weird to me because mostly back home we use WhatsApp as our main source of communication. And when I came here, everyone either wanted to talk on Snapchat or Instagram. And while we do Instagram is very popular, it was so weird that no one was using their WhatsApp statuses and stuff. So, yeah, it was very different. It was a big culture shock a bit.
What's the impact of social media on where you live?
I would say it's almost like everywhere. There's a problem of cyberbullying, which is very prevalent and not talked about enough in the Caribbean, not to mention St. Vincent as a whole. There's the fact that everything is so on social media. Like in St. Vincent, for example, there's a whole Instagram page dedicated to just finding people's most embarrassing moments and post them online, and everyone is able to view it. There's a problem with phones in schools, and there's this whole, it was banned for a while, and then they had to bring it back.
Are you on social media yourself?
Of course. I'm a 17-year-old girl.
What are you on?
Instagram,
on X,
Snapchat, Twitter. Let's keep it at Twitter.
Do you post?
Yeah.
Do you post or just watch?
Instagram mainly. I use my WhatsApp a lot, but Snapchat I prefer not to. It's very 2014, don't you think?
Milica, are you on social media?
Yeah, I am. I am very active on social media.
How much time a day do you spend on social media?
Well, I'm not sure I can check that for you, but I don't think my mom would
Check
be
it on
happy
your
with.
mobile, yes.
I don't think my mom would be happy to find out. I think that school day here is very busy and long, so we don't have a lot time to use our social media.
Do you post or do you just look?
I do post. I use Instagram mainly for posting.
Yeah.
I enjoy doing it.
Do you watch TikTok?
Yes. I think that TikTok is the most time-consuming app out of all, because it's just endless. You can watch a show and the show will end eventually, but TikTok you can just scroll forever, which is good and bad. I think there are some interesting and useful things that you can see on TikTok, or just entertaining, but I would say that maybe I should use it less.
Okay, Emily, what social media do you use?
I mainly use Snapchat, but I don't post that much on Instagram or anything like that. I prefer using social media to stay in contact with my friends.
Who's the most famous person you follow?
Oh God, I don't know. I'm really not that into following people. I just like using it to talk to my friends, because I have loads of friends all across the world, in like the UAE and Germany and places like that. So it's nice to be able to talk to them. Okay.
They're talking about, social media causes problems for some. There's a good side to social media, and there's a downside to it. Do you perceive any sort of downside?
There is definitely a downside. There's no doubting that. But I think it depends what you're using your social media for and how into it you get. Like, I don't really use my social media other than talking to people and occasionally scrolling. But if you use it a lot, or you're like going down the bad algorithms, then of course it's going to have negative impacts.
Okay. We're live. Mannin Line's live today in Castletown with the students of King William's College, and we'll be back in a moment.
How would you like to be remembered? Why not create a lasting memory by leaving a legacy donation to the Queen's Pier Restoration Trust? This would help our dedicated team to continue the restoration to save our historic landmark. Whether you can make a regular donation, leave a legacy donation, or request funeral donations in lieu of flowers, you will be remembered. To find out more, email qprt@manx.net or visit us on Facebook. This audio has been kindly sponsored by Paul Carey & Sons.
Achieve your business goals with Nicola Bowker & Co. Embracing the latest accounting technology, Nicola Bowker will help you to keep your accounts totally up to date with all the information you need at the tip of your fingers. Don't be kept in the dark. Come into the light with Nicola Bowker.
Join us at Riley's Garden Centre this Saturday for the Traeger Barbecue Demo Day from 11 a.m. See the grills, speak with the Traeger pros and taste the wood-fired difference with lots of samples on hand. Become part of the Traeger Nation at Riley's Garden Centre this Saturday from 11.
Hello, I'd like to rent a car for 3 days. Just something reasonable.
No problem at all. We've just a few rules. You can't go off island, you can't smile in the car, you can't take any friends. Oh, and it's £10,000 a day.
Renting a car doesn't need to be difficult or expensive. With prices from just £50 per day, and now collection and drop-off at the airport and Douglas, speak to Rex Rental Company or book online at rexrental.im.
Rex Rentals. I'm so glad to hear that.
Join me, Chris Quirk, for the Saturday night party from 7 as we play some of the best club classics from the 90s onwards. I'll be firing up the decks in each hour to bring you 2 20-minute hot mixes from your favourite decades, including regular guest mixes from local and international DJs. Whether you're getting ready to go out and hit town or you'd like to stay in and reminisce over those good times you tune into the radio before stepping out to the clubs, then this Saturday night party is the place to be on Manx Radio.
Perfection.
This is the Mannin Line on location.
Faster Mites, 12:30. We're live in Castletown at King William's College. Aidan, there's an election in South Africa soon, is that right?
Yeah, the election's coming up, and it's a pretty big one. If I were in South Africa right now, I'd be able to vote myself, being of age, but I'd have to go to
What's
London.
the age? What's the voting
18.
age? It's 18?
Yeah.
16 on the Isle of Man.
I know, I heard it was quite surprising when I heard that.
Yeah.
But all of my friends now are going to start voting. The main two parties that are going against each other is the ANC, who have been in power since 1994 after the revolution, and Nelson Mandela came into power, versus the DA, who have been slowly rising. I mean, they do have mainly control over the Western Cape. But
DA stands for?
Democratic Association, I believe. But the main argument for the DA is that they're going to revolutionize the country and change South Africa, because while the ANC was doing really well in the 1990s up to the early 2000s. Recently, they've been accused of a lot of corruption, a lot of scandals like that with Zuma and the Guptas, who stole millions of pounds from the governments. A lot of infrastructure has been broken. So recently, the DA's main point is that they're going to stop the load shedding in South Africa, which is basically the government's way of controlling electricity outputs. So for certain amounts of hours in the day, they turn off all electricity across certain regions. So you'll have no lights, no TV, no anything for 1, 2, 3, up to, my friends have had 12 hours of no electricity in a day.
Aidan, a lot of people outside South Africa look at a beautiful country like South Africa, where they literally dig diamonds and gold out of the ground, and it seems to be dysfunctional.
Yeah, you could say that we are very naturally resource rich. I think it all really comes down to corruption, and the people at the head, they all they see is what they can get out of it, not what's for the people. So you've had...
It seemed to be going so well with Nelson Mandela, though.
It really was. I mean, I can't speak for... I wasn't there, but my parents were always very hopeful about it. And that was the main reason that we moved here, is because over the last few years, we just saw that it's going down. There's not really anything you can do about it, mainly education between... They were thinking not only about me, but my children's future living in South Africa. I mean, during last year in 2022, there were riots for political reasons in the region that we're in, and we had thousands of people who came to our malls and our storage areas, and they looted whatever they wanted, and they burnt it down and they destroyed it. And that was really the turning point for my family to say, we can't live in a country that's just dysfunctional anymore. I mean, we've been thinking about it for years, and that's when eventually we decided, okay, we'd like to move to the Isle of Man.
Are your parents optimistic for the future of South Africa?
I think that me and my whole family do have this idea that right now it's really bad, but often comparisons are made between Africa and Asia. People in the 1950s to the 1980s really thought a lot about Asia, about how bad it was going in the economy and that it was going to get so much worse, but those are really unfounded. And now Asia sometimes have better economies than first world countries like Europe and the US. So I personally believe, and most of my friends also believe, that right now South Africa is struggling a lot, and the rest of Africa also is. But we think that at the end of the century, 2100s, and in the future, it will rise to be among the rest of the first world countries. I mean, you can take a look at a good example is Rwanda. They had their genocide in the, I'm not exactly when, was it
80s, 90s, yeah.
1890s, yeah, where millions or hundreds of thousands or millions of people died. But today, that they're one of the best economies in Africa. They're one of the cleanest, one of the best interest rates. So they're looking to invest in many of the companies come to Rwanda, as they put it, as the Singapore of Africa, as just a big business hub in the center of the country.
So at some point, would you like to go back to South Africa?
I think I'd love to visit. Ever since I've got here, I've just thought about when I'm going to go back and visit. But for now, I'd like to live here and see all the opportunities that Europe has to offer. But it definitely is as an option to retire, maybe not to live as an adult, but it's such a beautiful country. I'd love to live there again.
James, who do you think is going to be the next president of the United States?
I don't follow American politics very much, if at all, really. So I think that I'd probably have to defer to somebody else who knows a lot more about the topic.
Who knows? Elliott, who do you think is going to be the next president of the United States?
I think it will be Trump, but I would hope for Biden. I don't think Trump is worthy, but there's so much popularity around him that it's probably
Do you get why people like Trump? And lots of people do like Trump, don't they?
I understand why people like Trump, mostly because a lot of the views align with their similar views. But so many people only have set views. There's nobody changing their views in America. So
okay, Max, who do you think is going to win in America? Going to be Biden or Trump?
I think Trump's probably going to win because he's got a massive reach over the whole country and in the specific states.
What do you think of him personally?
I think, he's obviously very controversial. Some of it baffles me. He's got these court cases going on. I think he does know how to run a country, but whether he's better than Biden, I don't know.
Emily, who do you think, Trump or Biden?
I think Trump, but I mean...
You're saying that through gritted teeth?
Yeah, I think both of them have been around for a while now, and we've not had that many new candidates, really.
Yeah.
I think Biden's getting quite old, and I think Trump is more influential across the country, so he probably will win.
Do you follow international politics much?
No, not really. I just hear about it on the news occasionally.
Do you follow Manx politics at all?
Not really. No.
Do you know about the assisted dying bill on the Isle of Man?
No, I'd
do you
have
know much
to.
about that?
I think Kayla might.
Kayla knows all
that.
about this. There's what do you think of the assisted dying legislation that's currently it's in clauses stage at the moment?
Well, as I explained it, I've been recently very involved in the Manx politics here, and it's something I've thought about before, and now that's becoming an important issue. I feel like it should be legislated. Because
so you think there should be legalized assisted dying?
Yes, because as we know for a fact that people are suffering and dying in unbearable pain, and whether or not we want to, if someone believes that they can no longer live it, they're going to commit suicide. So shouldn't it be better on both themselves and their family that they get this done in a safe space where the last moments in their head is not, oh, I am disappointing everyone around me. And the fact is, amendments have been made to the bill since it had been introduced in 2023. So you have to be considered in the right state of mind to make this decision. There are going to be legal representation there, and there's going to be doctors there to oversee this process.
Do they have assisted dying in St. Vincent and Grenadines?
No, I do not think we're progressive enough to attach that as yet, but since I am here now, so I just feel like this, I wouldn't say it really affects me because I'll only be here for 2 years, most likely, but the fact is, any argument that has been put up against it, the amendments have been made by this third reading, which happened on the 7th of May, if I remember correctly, this year, that everything has been addressed. So I don't see the hesitation other than the fact that the doctors have sworn Hippocratic oath to do no harm. Yeah. But as I said before as well, we can also define doing harm as letting people live in their suffering and in their pain for an extended period of time until their natural deaths, and I put those in air quotes.
Okay, Teodora, do they have assisted dying in Romania?
No, this is such an alien concept for us because
Had you heard of it before you came to the Isle of Man?
Yes, I had, because it is very prominent in the Netherlands and also Switzerland, which is a country which has developed an entire industry of it. There are private clinics who perform these procedures, and a person who wishes to perform it pays around 10,000 euros for it. So it's very profitable for such countries. And more recently in the Netherlands, the bill was modified so that people with very severe mental health issues are also allowed to perform assisted suicide.
How do you feel about legalized assisted dying? Do you think we should have it on the Isle of Man or not?
I think it should be present, but I'm really concerned about how it will be regulated and how it will affect very vulnerable people who are in the care of other people, and how they may represent a burden for them. Because most people, I cannot say most, but some people who are suffering certainly cannot consent to such measures, and they cannot process this through. So it opens an entire new grey area of considerations.
What's the voting age in Romania?
18.
18. 16 on the Isle of Man. Do you think that's a good idea, that 16-year-olds can vote?
I think so, because the young voice should be the most prominent, because as cliché as it may sound, we are the future. But in most
that's
countries,
for sure. I mean, you'll be paying every penny of tax for everyone else.
Yes, exactly. Regardless of what country I am in, yes, that will be the case. But for most of the world, is still 18. Only a few countries have this very progressive idea of voting at 16, which I think should be seriously considered. But also I've seen the initiative of reducing the age to vote in the Europe parliamentary elections at the age of 16. Some countries allow it, I think, like Germany, but I cannot be sure on that.
What's the state of Romania? Is Romania trying to get in the EU?
We have been in the EU since 2006.
Oh, really?
Yes.
It was that long ago?
It is. It's been a long time.
And how is being in the EU affecting Romania?
Well, there has been a tremendous amount of development in Romania, especially
European money.
Yes, European money, a lot of development, especially from an infrastructure point of view, but also from the mobility point of view, because our passport is mostly equal to very developed countries. And because I'm an EU citizen, I can study in any European Union country for very low taxes or free.
Okay. What brought you to the Isle of Man? Why the Isle of Man?
I am the same situation as Milica. I won a scholarship through the HMC organization.
Okay. And could you go anywhere, or was this the only option?
Well, if you receive a full scholarship, you're placed in a certain school, but I'm really happy that I ended up here. I'm fascinated by the Isle of Man, and I didn't know about the Isle of Man before, but it only came up as a trick question in geography quizzes, so not very much.
And when did you arrive? Last year?
Yes, September 2023.
So you've never seen the TT?
No. No, I've never seen the TT.
Oh, wow. You've got a lot to see, a lot to pay. Emily, are you a TT fan, Emily?
I like watching it every now and then.
Do you ride a motorcycle?
No. I think I'd be too scared to go on a motorcycle.
Max, do you ride a motorbike?
I wish I could.
Does anybody ride a motorbike here? Nobody rides a motorbike. Right, back in just a few moments' time. More to talk with the students at King William's College.
Life isn't always easy, and we can sometimes feel we're totally alone in our struggles. From employment issues, housing benefit complications and relationship breakdowns, to faulty goods and bad workmanship. But whatever hurdles you face, Manx Citizens Advice Service at Ty Rush and Port Erin is here to help you overcome them with free confidential support and advice and guidance on where to get the help you need. We're open each Friday from 10:30am to 12:30pm, no appointment necessary. Alternatively, leave a message on 833 976 or email scas@manx.net and one of our team will get back to you. citizensadvice.im, here for you for life.
Hey June, I wanted to tell you about the Green Living Grant. Well, new Spectrum windows and doors are so energy efficient they qualify for the Green Living Grant, with funding available for up to 50% of the cost. I saved £5,725, but the application deadline closes at the end of June.
Don't delay. Contact Spectrum Windows today on 817777. T's and C's apply.
Whether you're fitting out a business office or looking for a stylish home office, you'll find excellent choice at Office World, the island's largest display showroom of office furniture, with a huge array of desk configurations including height adjustable and bench options, plus seating in mesh, fabric and vinyl finishes, along with a myriad of storage solutions, from filing cabinets to bookcases and cupboards. Find all this and so much more at Office World on Spring Valley Industrial Estate.
Office World!
Gilg 2, Gilg J as Gilg Nera.
Avashanrish.
A Gilg, the Manx Gaelic, Chinian Amera, the mother tongue of Elliott Mannin, the Isle of Man.
Avashanrish.
You can catch up with more of Manx Radio's Manx language programmes in the weekly podcast Abershenrish. Say that again.
Avashanrish.
Shene, that's the one.
This is the Mannin Line on location.
Live with the students of King William's College. And Max, what computer games do you play?
I play a bit of Microsoft Flight Simulator and
Flight
FIFA.
Simulator.
Yeah.
Is that the one? What airports do you fly into?
You can fly at any. It's all sort of made using. It's all made 3D using Google Maps, so you can go anywhere.
Okay. Have you got a VR headset or anything?
No, just a monitor and an Xbox.
Have you done it? Have you crashed anywhere?
Yeah, many times. Yeah.
Okay. How long do you play computer games for?
How long have I been playing?
Yeah, no, I mean, do you play 2 or 3 hours at a time?
It's usually like 1.5, or like 1 to 1.5.
Okay, Aiden, do you play computer games at all?
I used to when I was a bit younger, but not as much now. But I remember when I was younger, I would play for many hours at a time.
What's the longest you played?
In total, in one sitting?
In one go?
Probably 10 hours.
Oh, that's nothing.
That was when I was like 12 and I had nothing better to do but play Minecraft all day.
That's nothing. We had a student at St Ninian's did, I think, a marathon of over 24 hours.
I believe that, yeah.
So you can do that. Did you watch Eurovision at all, James?
I didn't watch it. I've heard about previous Eurovisions and previous like countries that have competed.
Who watched Eurovision? Milica, did you watch Eurovision?
I followed a bit. I think as time passes by, I follow it less and less. But I see what my country is doing.
What did Serbia do? Did it get through to the final?
Yeah, it did. I'm not really sure where was it. I think in the first 20, possibly. Very good position, but I like to watch it. I like to see what's going on. It is a pretty political. It was pretty political this year, but I don't follow, but I see online what is going on. What is the main topic?
Teodora, how did Romania do in Eurovision? Did you see?
For this year, Romania has decided that they don't have enough of a budget to participate in Eurovision, which is probably better because arguably we've embarrassed ourselves in the last 5 or so years.
Oh, everybody,
it's not my opinion.
Everybody
but it's
embarrasses themselves in Eurovision.
Yeah, but I followed Eurovision. I think there were some really good songs, but I never have the patience to watch the whole thing. I just listen to the songs.
What's the swimmer's name again? The Romanian swimmer?
David Popovic.
David Popovic.
Yes.
Okay, and for the 100 metres?
For the 100 metres back in 2022, I believe he's not the record holder
And he's going
anymore.
to be swimming this year. We'll all be watching David Popovic.
Yes.
This year.
We must watch him.
It'll be good. We've talked about the politics and what's going to be happening in America. On the Isle of Man, a hot topic is wind turbines and whether or not we should have wind turbines on the Isle of Man. Elliott, have you been following this at all? Wind turbines, and not that far away, Erie Stain, near Colby.
Very slightly. I haven't followed it that much, but I have heard quite a bit about it. I've had leaflets through my door.
Oh, really?
Yes. I've had leaflets through my door. It was just advertising it, telling people what was going to happen. I didn't really think much too about it. I agree with it. I think it's a good idea.
So, I mean, lots of people are against it because they say we should stick them out in the Irish Sea. If you put them on the Isle of Man, you're going to be able to see them from miles away.
I don't think it will be that big of a problem. We've got lots of different spots where we can go to, and I don't think it would cause that much of an eyesore. There are good alternatives to putting them in the Irish Sea, of course, but I think there's no problem. And
also, off Mackle, we've got, apparently there's a big patch of gas underneath there. Do you think the Isle of Man should be drilling for its own gas?
No, I don't think we should. I don't think we have the money. I think we should just keep with the wind turbines and the green energy.
James, do you think we should drill for that gas?
I don't know how lucrative it would be.
Well, they say it could make us billions.
How much would it cost to start off with?
Well, it's a private venture, so apparently the private people want to drill for it. It's our seabed, so it's our license, and they would pay a proportion of money to the Manx Treasury. And it would, according to them, it would get us out of every financial problem we've ever had and a few that we've not even thought about.
Well, if something seems too good to be true, it most likely is. I see no downsides to the information you've just given me, and so with that, I'd be a bit sceptical as towards. Like why is it so good? What if this has been here and it is such a good idea? Why hasn't it been done previously?
What's the badge you've got on?
The badge that is the head of Dixon House.
You're head of Dixon.
I am.
And is that just for this term? For this year?
That is for the end of this academic year and following on until next academic year.
Okay. What do you have to do as head of house?
Oh, what don't I have to do? To summarise it. Myself and my partner, who's away at the moment, and then the two deputies as well, we foresee the well-being of all the students in the house, which looks about 150 students.
Of everybody?
Of all the students in the house. Yeah, we're a very close community.
Yeah. And what does that mean?
What does that mean?
Look after the well-being of 150 people.
Obviously, college can be quite stressful. Obviously, the jump from primary school to high school for the younger students is a very big jump and a very difficult thing to acclimatise to. And just making sure that they feel the most comfortable and they get the most out of the college experience.
Did you have any training to do that?
Any training? Yeah, we took. We were elected in, so anyone who wanted to put themselves forward for that position, we did. Each head of house, 3 houses. There's Dixon, Colburn, and Walters. Colburn is the house for the boarding students, and then the rest of the other 2 are for the day students. And each staff head of house ran a workshop of sorts, each highlighting different elements of what it means to be a head of house and like teaching you the skills that you will need to go off and do that. But each head of house each year it's all been done differently.
Do you feel you've learnt something from being head of house and looking after potentially 150 people?
I've learnt, and I'm still learning. Definitely, it's a big responsibility, but I think myself and Ian, who's not here, very up for the job, very excited for what the house can bring.
Without, I mean, don't go into any sort of detail, but what sort of problems do you come across?
I think it's I don't really come across many problems really. It's more things not issues that we tackle. We've got Sports Day coming up, not this Friday, the next Friday, which goes towards a lot of points. We have at the end of the year, there's points totaled up for all the house events, like house music, house drama, etc. The Kelly Trophy is awarded to the house that wins the overall most amount of points. That's more academic. And then the Milcrease Trophy, which is towards music, sport and drama. Typically, Dixon have quite a good track record. So I'm a very, very proud Dixonite and very happy, and hopefully we'll lead Dixon to victory of both of those trophies.
Interesting, because as you say, sometimes coming from primary school to, I mean, it's a big place.
Yeah.
King William's College, in the middle of winter can look a bit foreboding as well. And one of the big things, it's Mental Health Awareness Week this week, and coping with something like this, as you say, can be stressy, it can be emotional.
Yeah, of course.
So you have to look out for that.
Definitely.
Okay. The International Baccalaureate is what you study for here. How have you found that?
I think that after my GCSEs and having to decide whether to do A-levels or IB, there wasn't much of a decision to be made. I was very concrete on doing the IB, purely because of the doors that it opens and the fact that rather than having to choose down to just taking 3 or 4 subjects, which closes a lot of doors in the future for job opportunities, that actually by studying 6 different subjects, being thrown right into the deep end, having loads of different extracurriculars and stuff that I have access to, it's definitely going to shape me and mould me for uni and for being in a workplace.
And Milica, how do you find the International Baccalaureate?
Well, my last program that I was in Serbia, it's very, very different in IB. I have 10 more subjects than here, but I would not say that the IB is less demanding, just because somebody would say 6 subjects is a lot, somebody would say that it's not enough. But I think it's a very special program that does not just shapes us to study the 6 subjects that we choose, but also to look around and try new things. And the way the program is also structured, I think it also helps a lot with uni, because it is the types of work that we write and do, the coursework that we have to submit as well. I think it shapes as good the structure.
Where are you hoping to go to university?
Well, I have not decided yet. I'm looking at different courses at different countries. I'm very open to see what is there to offer, probably in Europe.
Okay, Kayla, what do you think of the IB?
Like Milica, I come from a very different environment in terms of education. For example, in St. Vincent and the Caribbean in general, as I mentioned, we're under the British monarchy. We're part of the Commonwealth, but we do not have a lot of British traditions. So GCSE does not exist in St. Vincent. We did what we call CXC, which is the Caribbean examinations. So coming here, the grading system was different, the teaching system was different, the education system different. Like Milica, I did 15 subjects before I came here. I did 15 subjects for my regional examinations, and while 7 is the highest grade here, 1 is the highest grade for us. It was very much a mind shock and a culture shock. But I find the IB very integrated, a lot more integrated than a lot of other programs such as the A-levels. Because we do first of all, we have programs such as PSHE and CAS, which not only build your interpersonal skills, but it also harness your academic talents. And we have things like the extended essay, which is time-consuming, very much time-consuming. You learn to write a thesis before you even hit university, and it's so advanced in terms of education that is just, and it's a very while I was researching it before I came here, because not like Teodora, sorry, like many of the other international students, I didn't know the Aleph Man existed, or the IB. So
what's the thing that surprised you most about the Isle of Man?
Oh, the weather. Absolutely, the weather. It was horrible for me when I first came here. not only was I not apparently I was not dressing for the weather. In my defense, I was working with less than 10 degrees on what they call the good days, while back home, 25 degrees and up. And then they had the audacity to be like, oh, when you come back from December, it'll be spring and it'll be warm and nice. When I came back home, because I went home for December, when I came back, I telling you, I cried one day because it was so cold.
Kayla, it's character building. It builds character.
My character have been built. I am enjoying the sun so much right now. I am enjoying this. Well, today we don't even have sun today. It's so unpredictable. It's driving me crazy.
It's the reason we're so green. It rains all the time. All right. It's good to talk to you. Thanks for being with us today.
Of course.
Thanks also to Teodora, to Milica. Thanks to Emily. Thanks to Max. Thanks to Aiden. Thanks to James and Elliott. Today, we've been live at King William's College. Thanks to Howie Kane, also to Matty Cunningham and Chris Kirk. Going to be back tomorrow. Open line tomorrow. But for the meantime, thanks. And goodbye from King William's College.
WINT